Hello everybody, my name is Frank Rapier and this is my oral critique for the BVU seminar course. The video that I chose was Why Planting Trees Will Never Stop Global Warming by Patrick Dixon. During this critique I will go over each topic in the rubric. I will give you my overall score at the end. I'll give you the score in each section and I will give you the reason why I chose each one of those scores. So let's go ahead and get started. The first section, the topic, purpose, and thesis of the presentation should be clear to the audience. I said that was acceptable. My thoughts on that are the topic statement was very bold and upfront. I think he presented it very well, but he did not really state the purpose of his presentation. And what I mean is that he didn't really state why he decided to tell us why global warming would not be solved by planting trees. Another thing, I also felt that the statement daft idea was a little condescending and that the statement could have been articulated in milder terms with the same message delivered. Okay? The presenter should cite and evaluate timely relevant research that supported the content of the message and enhanced the speaker's credibility. Again, I gave him an acceptable score. I know that the presenter was very knowledgeable of trees and of climate, and as to why planting trees would not be the final answer to climate change, but he never really cited any resources. The information on capping was great, but without citing any resources, it was really unsubstantiated. He's obviously an expert on climate change, and I think giving a little background onto who he was and some of his accomplishments would have really lent to his credibility and would have really helped him. The third section, the presentation should be structured so the flow of all ideas and evidence is clear and logical. I again said that that was acceptable. I think that the flow of the speech was very good. You could tell it was something he was very passionate about, and he gave that throughout the message. I mean, he conveyed that very, very well. So I think overall that would be acceptable. The fourth section, the presenter should gain and maintain audience attention as well as read and adapt to the audience feedback. In this one, the presenter made great eye contact with the audience and he seemed very passionate about the topic. There was really no opportunity to gain feedback from what the audience was feeling from his message, since it really was a virtual audience. There was nobody, nobody around that we could see. There was no chance for him to gauge how the audience was receiving his message. So therefore, I think maybe if he would have done it in a different environment, it might have been better. The last one, the presentation should be done with poise, professionalism, including quality eye contact, a firm or appropriate stance, careful rate, volume and articulation, as well as engaging tone and nonverbals. I think that Patrick did a very, very good job in articulating his point. He was great at using nonverbal communication with his hand gestures, the stance, and as well as the way that his facial expression changed with his inflection. The one negative was that his tone was a little bit loud. And I think the reason that his tone was loud was because there was a lot of background noise. Okay, and to some degree it was a little distracting, not overly distracting, but it was noticeable. Had he done something, since he was talking about trees, maybe go out to a more of a wooded area that's a little more quiet. I think that also would have, because just the one tree, it was kind of symbolic of what he was talking about. But I think that going into a forest, particularly at the beginning when he was explaining how if a tree dies, what happens with it down the road, and what that really means to the planet. I think that probably would have, in my opinion, been a better course of action to take. But overall, I would say his presentation was acceptable, was engaging, and I enjoyed watching it. Hopefully you enjoyed my feedback on this presentation. Have a great day.